then I go back to my Lectio Divina, and I'm like, okay, so I guess exalted and humble isn't getting me anywhere. So I read it again, I'm all peaceful. And I come to the word justify. So the tax collector went down to his home justified. So the tax collector was the one who, tax collectors, like, let's be honest, they were shifty dudes. They were not the most upstanding citizens, generally speaking. So he's the one that says, oh God, I've got nothing to offer, just please take me. And the Pharisee, who actually Pharisees, generally speaking, like, they were kind of doing good stuff. So he wasn't speaking lies and saying, I'm good at stuff. It's just, he was, comparing himself to the other guy. Not cool. Okay, so justify, though. I start thinking, okay, he went home justified. Like, what does that mean? And then I go back to before I was a minister, I thought maybe I'd want to be a journalist. So I did a year in journalism school, and I got thinking of newspapers. Anyone remember newspapers? So the text, right? Justified. Imagine, like, it makes for such a more aesthetically pleasing experience in reading a newspaper to have the words spread out on the line and the column, making these beautiful lines. And the late Fred Buechner, one of my favorite pastors and theologians, he says what happens when the text is justified is that each word is put in proper relationship with the other words and with the page. So I'm thinking, okay, this could go somewhere. The tax collector went down to his house justified in right relationship with the other words and the page, in right relationship with his neighbors and God. And I'm like, yeah, good. Parables have these trapdoors, and there's another one. Justified. I'm justified in what I say about Donald Trump because, come on, that guy. Right? We can justify just about anything. So you've just got to have a bit of caution with the words and the interpretation. Are we justifying something to build ourselves up, or with facts that might not be factual? So there are a lot of words like that you've just got to be careful that you're aware of their full meaning. Like words too, just as a total aside, words like cleave, right? Cleave. So cleave is both to cling and of course, to cut. Yeah, so justify, one of those words. But we're going to go with that idea that it's a bringing things into right relationship, and that maybe that was one of the insights into this parable that might help us today. And you'll know perhaps about all of those debates through the centuries of, are we justified by faith or by works? And in our scriptures, there's places, particularly in Paul's letter to the Romans and in James, where it seems to contradict itself. Like you're saved by the good things you do, or you're saved by the fact that God loves you and you exist. So I might know where I stand, but Bible can tell you all sorts of things, and I'm not going to get into what all those interpretations are, but clearly this is a passage that's about we're justified by faith, by just our being. And so essentially it's you're not loved. Let's think of it practically. You're not loved. Your value doesn't come down to your education, your salary, your achievements, right? We know this stuff. Your value isn't about the letters before or after your name. Your value even, and I could get into trouble for this, but your value is not even contingent on raising your power by 20%. Mind you, if you can raise your power by 20%. None of those things impact who we are and our value in this world. And so I want us to think for a minute of that idea that really at the core of this message is something that's at the core of a lot of scriptures. My favorite is the baptism of Jesus, where he comes out of the water and the voice says, "This is my beloved in whom I am well pleased." That there is a message here about when that tax collector sort of shows up and says, I got nothing to give, I don't know who I am, I just stand before you knowing I need your love, oh God. Those are the moments when we're in touch with the truth that our value just is, just by the fact that we live and breathe. We are valued. So I want you to think about your belovedness. And I want you to just for a moment put aside all those things. So you might be in that category of, yeah, but what I've done and the impact I have and the letters before or after my name all kind of lift me up a little bit. Or you might be a bit more like me. Yeah, I know I'm no good. I'm not going to even pretend that I am. Like, you might be pulling yourself down or lifting yourself up, but either way, you're denying that you are a beloved child of God. So I just want you to sit in that truth, maybe and say it as a little mantra. I'm beloved, I'm beloved, I'm beloved, I'm beloved. I'm of value, I'm good enough. Not because of anything I've done or haven't done. I could just stop right there, right? It's the only sermon there is, really.